Hey guys, good morning. I am on my way down to north of Solvang to do a ride on this road called Foxen Canyon. It's to me, it's one of the prettiest and most scenic roads in this central California area. There are a lot of bike tour companies that do their trips here in Solvang, and it's one of the few spots out of the whole country where they kind of consider it someplace where having tours year-round is kind of worthwhile for them. And it is like some of the best cycling and scenery that I know of, not just in California but in the US. It's very worthwhile in terms of the fact that there are just ample quiet roads without too many cars, and the weather is like generally good all year round, starting even in like the winter time. There are big climbs. There's a climb for Figueroa, which is 4,000 something feet in elevation gain, and there are two ways up it. And then there are also a lot of beautiful vineyards, rolling roads that are not as difficult, but offers a variety in terms of what you want to do for your riding. So this area, Solvang, was just mostly known from the Lance Armstrong era, when the postal team would do their training camps here, and they would come here during the winter time and do like probably like a week or a 10-day camp, and slowly all these other US domestic racing teams would come here and do kind of the same thing, and then before you know it, crowds of people would kind of come pretty much along the same time as the camps would happen to kind of catch like a celebrity sighting of Lance. And then from that point on, it just kind of became like a very big hot spot for cycling or a cycling vacation. There's another area that's kind of like that. It's called Girona in Spain, and I was there back in February. And that area has kind of blown up in terms of cycling for the same reason, that Lance went there and lived there for a bunch of years. And before then, it wasn't really that well known in terms of a cycling town or region. And because of that, a lot of people started to explore that area, invest in it, and now it's another cycling hotspot. There are probably like 7 or 8 of these really concentrated cycling hotspots areas in the world. So I really recommend you guys, if you're in the Santa Barbara area or in LA for a long period of time, and if you're into cycling, you can make a trip up here. There are shops that rent bikes, so you can definitely come without having to bring a bike along and still enjoy the riding here. Okay, about to get started here, and I'm heading south. Miles into my ride on Foxen Canyon, and there's a crazy tailwind right now, so I'm thinking on the way back it might be kind of challenging. Hey guys, I'm just stopping on the side of the road here to show you these. They're called Farewell to Spring, and it is about that time when it's about end of May and you're seeing the last bit of the greenery from the rain over the winter. And these are, I think they're the last flowers to bloom before the dry season starts out here in California. They're quite beautiful. I'm cresting over one of the climbs on Foxen. That was probably 3/4, close to a mile. Nothing too crazy on this road. The biggest climb is the Fig, which is just to the 10 o'clock of what we're looking at. And that goes up 4,000 feet, So I don't know who lives here at this Foxen Creek Ranch, but it's a pretty nice entrance. Very curious where this road leads. So this is the stretch of road that caused me a good amount of grief last Saturday. I got a flat somewhere along the way here, and that's usually no big deal, except I hadn't gotten a flat in like over a year and a half. And I realized when I stopped, my tube was the wrong valve length, so it kind of made it useless. And I didn't have my patch kit, and my CO2 trigger was broken, and there was no coverage. So I was pretty much like dead in the water, and I pretty much ended up walking quite a bit until I got a signal, at which point Dina was really nice enough to scoop me up, driving over an hour from slow. So I'm very, very appreciative of that. But I learned my lesson big time. I now have, especially during COVID times, I now have 2 tubes, make sure they're the right length, patch kit, pump, and another pump. I might even throw in a couple of CO2s too, who knows. So, and I have this thing called the Garmin InReach, which lets you use your phone and tap into the satellite network. So that would have also saved me quite a bit. Anyway, lesson learned. These hills really turn yellow fast. I feel like it was like less than a week ago I was here, 4 days ago, and the hills were way more green than this. And it was also on this stretch when I was walking with my bike that I saw one cyclist. There aren't too many people out here, so I saw one cyclist. I started to tell him about what was going on, at which point, as I was walking towards him, he says, "Do not take one step closer." I said, whoa. I definitely stopped. But yeah, it's definitely a different time for us, for all of us, so I respected that. Yeah, I just kind of didn't think of it when I was having my tire issues. So definitely you have to be, all of us have to be a little more prepared. So during the month of March, I come to Solvang, this area, to do the Solvang Tri-Camp. It's definitely one of my favorite weeks of the year. You do a tremendous amount of riding. It's more a ride-intensive camp. But we also swim quite a few days of the morning, and also have run workouts. But this is one of the roads we ride on, Foxen Canyon, and very grateful for Charlie for putting it together. Word on tire choice on this ride, even though this is a road ride, the road surface can be pretty rough at times, just bad pavement. So if you have either two sets of wheels or two bikes, I would bring the more comfortable one, just so you have a better time out here. There are some stretches that are pretty good pavement, but I would say having a smoother riding bike is way more worth it. Came up pretty quick, so we're still in Foxen Canyon, but you kept going on this road. You go onto a road called Zaka Station, and that keys into the 101 highway, so you probably don't want that. All right, I just got back to the car, exactly 50 miles. So it was a pretty nice ride, and I hope I showed you some scenery that make it worthwhile for you to do a trip out here. And thanks for watching, and it always helps a great deal if you can like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.